On October 29, 2004, just 4 days before the U.S. presidential election, a recording surfaces in the news featuring Osama bin Laden addressing the people of the United States. In this video, he claims responsibility for the September 11th attacks, condemns the Bush administration's response to the attacks, and presents them as part of a campaign of retaliation and intimidation, motivated by the destruction during the Lebanese Civil War. Analysts speculated that the video's release was timed to influence the presidential election. In this video recording, released by Al Jazeera, Osama bin Laden makes remarks addressed to the citizens of the United States, stating that the best way to avoid another Manhattan is not to threaten the security of Muslim countries. Although Al Jazeera did not disclose the source of the video, the CIA confirmed that the speaker appearing behind the lectern is indeed bin Laden. The mention of the 2004 U.S. presidential candidate, John Kerry, on the tape seemed to prove that bin Laden was still alive, meaning the hunt for the world's most wanted man was back on. Osama bin Laden, the founder and former leader of Al-Qaeda, went into hiding after the start of the war in Afghanistan to avoid capture by the United States or its allies for his role in the September 11th attacks. After evading capture at the Battle of Tora Bora in December 2001, his whereabouts became unclear, and various rumors circulated about his health and continued role in Al-Qaeda. Bin Laden's health had been the subject of constant speculation since his disappearance from Tora Bora. Initially, rumors surfaced that bin Laden had been killed or mortally wounded during American bombing raids, or that he had died of natural causes. The investigation stalled and the situation proved frustrating, given the fact that 3 years ago, the CIA had been close to capturing bin Laden. In 2001, an international coalition led by the United States invaded Afghanistan to destroy the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda, after the Taliban refused to hand over Osama bin Laden. At the height of the conflict, there were more than 130,000 NATO troops on Afghan soil. The Taliban regime collapses quickly. After suffering a defeat in Mazar-e Sharif on November 9, 2001, Taliban strongholds crumble over the next week, following a coalition offensive. After tracking Al-Qaeda leader bin Laden to a well-equipped cave complex of Tora Bora, southeast of Kabul, Afghan militiamen engaged in 2 weeks of fierce fighting with Al-Qaeda militants. This resulted in the deaths of several hundred people, and ultimately, the escape of bin Laden, believed to have left on horseback. On December 16th, just a day before the Afghan forces captured 20 of his remaining men, one of them will lead them to bin Laden's trail, Mohammed al-Qahtani, captured at the Battle of Tora Bora in December 2001, was sent to the Guantanamo Bay detention camp in June 2002. He continued to identify himself by a false name and insisted that he was in the area solely to practice falconry. After 10 months, U.S. Border and Immigration authorities took a fingerprint sample and discovered that he was the same man who had tried to enter the United States shortly before the September 11th attacks. After reviewing airport surveillance footage, the FBI stated that they were able to identify a car at the airport that was there to pick up al-Qahtani, and its owner was Mohammed Atta. He was the ringleader of the September 11th attacks and served as the pilot hijacker of American Airlines Flight 11, which crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. At age 33, he was the oldest of the 19 hijackers involved in the operation. The military invited FBI investigators to interrogate al-Qahtani shortly after September 26, 2002. Top political appointees of the administration flew to Camp Delta to see al-Qahtani and speak with his interrogators. They were trying to develop ways to break the resistance of detainees and compiled a list of potential methods that could be used. And all they managed to get was an idea of the internal workings of the group. Abu Zubaydah, the group's logistician, was captured in Pakistan in March 2002 and has been in U.S. custody ever since. During his time in CIA custody, Zubaydah was subjected to numerous interrogations, waterboarded 83 times, and subjected to numerous other methods, including forced nudity, sleep deprivation, deprivation of solid food, stress positions, and physical assaults. Videos of some of Zubaydah's interrogations are believed to be among those destroyed by the CIA in 2005. As a result, Zubaydah provided information that al-Qaeda's operational commander, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, was planning an attack on the United States. He was also arrested a year later. This helped to better understand the structure of al-Qaeda, with bin Laden at the head, but his whereabouts had still not been discovered. However, through enhanced interrogation methods, the CIA obtained valuable information that bin Laden had a trusted courier named Hassan Gul. In early 2004, Kurdish security forces captured Gul and handed him over to U.S. intelligence. He reportedly served in various roles, from courier delivering messages for al-Qaeda members to informant. He was held in a secret CIA location for 2 years, and later stated that bin Laden's personal courier was a certain Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. And when investigators asked Khalid Sheikh Mohammed about the courier's name, he confirmed that he knew al-Kuwaiti, but denied that he had any connection to al-Qaeda. In May 2005, Abu Faraj al-Libi was captured on the outskirts of the northern Pakistani city of Mardan by the CIA. He confessed that when he was appointed successor to Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, he received information through a courier, but denied that he knew al-Kuwaiti any more than Mohammed did. Shortly after a week of enhanced interrogation methods, he confessed that he knew al-Kuwaiti and provided key information about him. Al-Libi reported that the courier delivered a message from bin Laden to the outside world about every 2 months. With this information, the National Security Agency began intercepting phone calls and emails between his family and everyone in Pakistan. From there, they learned his real name, Ibrahim Saeed Ahmed, a Pakistani born in Kuwait. Although they waited 2 years to learn his real name, it would be several more years before they could find him. In July 2010, calls made on the satellite phone used by the courier were being tracked by the U.S. National Security Agency, leading to Kuwaiti Pakistani agents working for the intelligence service spotted al-Kuwaiti driving his car, and they began tracking his movements. In August 2010, al-Kuwaiti unknowingly led the agents to a compound in Abbottabad with a 3-story building inside and concrete walls 5 to 6 meters high. The compound was so large, secluded, and secure that analysts concluded it was being used to house a high-value target, bin Laden. To determine if bin Laden was inside, a safe house was set up in Abbottabad from which CIA operatives could observe daily activities at the compound for several months. The CIA used telephoto lens cameras, infrared imaging equipment, and sophisticated listening devices to try to capture voices inside the compound, which had no telephone line or internet connection. It was also decided to exclude engagement with Pakistan. The decision was made that any attempts to cooperate with Pakistan could compromise the mission. In February 2011, by mid-February, after a series of meetings at the White House attended by the president, it was determined that there was a solid intelligence base to develop a plan of action to apprehend bin Laden on site. U.S. Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta and others concluded that they had significant circumstantial evidence that bin Laden was there, but no satellite could photograph him or any members of his family. The CIA director concluded that there was enough evidence to risk conducting a raid. On May 2, 2011, helicopters arrived at the compound in Abbottabad at 3:30 a.m. Pakistan time. They advanced into the house, breaking down walls and doors. After clearing the first and second floors, the Navy SEALs proceeded to the third, where they encountered bin Laden himself. He was unarmed, wearing a loose tunic and trousers, in which they later found 500 euros and 2 telephone numbers sewn into the fabric. According to U.S. officials, bin Laden was buried at sea because no country would accept his remains. Hope you enjoyed this video. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and that means even more creepy content coming your way. Smash that subscribe button and join the Spooky 5 family. And don't look behind you.